Ah, we made it to Friday.
Woo!
Woo, another week.
We were hoping for good news in the world last week, and
We got some good news.
some, yeah,
Some
good news for mining.
good news for mining, good news for the metals, a little
Yep,
bit of good news for AI. There was
yep.
the OpenAI Dev Day.
But panic for pretty much every other stock.
That is true. Actually, that's a really good observation. A lot of things went down.
Yeah,
But you know,
the
the,
lowest since April or something
really,
was,
wow.
well, Trump just, and it's not for sure, but he just proposed the 100% tariffs on China maybe November 1st, I think.
Uh, wow. That will really mess things up if that goes
I
on.
mean, hopefully he was playing a joke, but or prank. But I mean, it's good for mining, and especially Canadian mining companies for sure. But all around,
Yeah, I mean Canada has some of the most mining companies, on our market is mainly driven by metals and resources.
yeah,
And so look at this, so silver was starting to draw back here on 9th, and then I think somewhere around here Trump made his announcement and popped back up. Good recovery, right?
yeah,
Same thing for gold is dropping. Did a little correction, but you see corrections are actually quite common. It's happened a little bit here,
yeah,
a little bit here. I wouldn't even call these full corrections. It's just
yeah,
the movement of the market, but it's crazy to look at this chart and see like everything green.
yeah,
1 day, 5 days, 1 month, 6 months, same as silver. Boom, boom, boom. We are definitely in a bull market for the metals and definitely in a bull market for the commodities. Like we just brought on these guys, Vizsla Silver,
hmm,
and when you look at their share price, you can see us sitting here on the bottom right hand corner. Feel free to ask questions. We love answering your questions. But here, look at their stock. This is the thing that's absurd. So if we go year to date, that's 153%, 154%, but that's on a billion. Like they were already almost at $1 billion market cap at the start of the year. Now they're at 2.16 billion Canadian. So that is tremendous growth.
yeah,
And they've been doing a great job. I mean, these guys have been working on this company for a very long time. Huge props to them. Great team. Very, very sharp guys.
yeah,
But it's just, it really shows like how the market's doing when you have, you know, them going up. You have Dolly that's been, going up in the past 6 months. You look at their year-to-date chart, also beautiful. Like everything is going up, and that's usually a sign that that you might want to take a close look at what's driving it.
yeah. I mean, the chaos and instability that we were talking about last week is for sure continuing and still pushing all of the resources way higher.
Yeah, it's sitting really well for commodities. I
Yeah,
think it's because, what are your options? Like
yeah,
central banks are flooding back to gold. Yeah, for a long time, people have touted, crypto and these things as safe haven assets. The problem is that they're just not big enough.
yeah,
Like the trillions of dollars that these central banks need to store, crypto is not big enough to handle it.
yeah,
But gold is, so that's why they still are going back to gold. That doesn't mean that that's going to stay the way, like that's the way it's going to be forever, but right now that's how things are structuring. And then we also had that really cool thing on, I think it was Tuesday, where OpenAI had their dev day.
yep, yep.
Man, there were some interesting things there. There
Hmm.
were some startup killers in that presentation. There were definitely some startup killers in that presentation, but something that I'm really excited for is the last time we haven't had a platform that grew at this pace like ChatGPT did probably is going back to social media, so Facebook, Instagram, early days, um, and then before that the iPhone. Now they're talking about rolling out apps on ChatGPT, and so things like like they have like app integrations now with Coursera. So like when you're looking at courses, you can like have the course run directly out of your app,
Hmm.
um, and directly out of GPT, and so you can ask questions and follow up questions about the video. A user experience that I love. Like I have always wanted to do this, like just to be watching a video and immediately ask questions without having to copy paste or like explain the context to the damn model.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I really liked was this Canva integration that they have, and then they also had one for Zumper here, so you can search for houses
Hmm.
on GPT, which I think is super cool
Yeah.
as well.
ChatGPT does, and from a user perspective, from it has seemed separate from the rest of the world, so it does need those integrations with the apps. So that's pretty cool. It will just become more normalized. Like we were talking about the AI bubble, it will just be a part, and it's already starting to be like that, where it's just a part of kind of your everyday digital experience.
Yeah, and it's so unique for a platform to have grown to the usage that it has, like 800 million weekly ChatGPT users. Like that is a massive market of people who are on that platform
Mhm.
where developers like we couldn't access them before. So once they roll out apps, I think it's kind of like the advent of like the App Store on iPhone. Like it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal. And then especially because OpenAI is looking at rolling out actual devices. Like they stole the
Hmm.
guy who helped design the iPhone and well they didn't steal him, but like he's
He's
works
up
now.
there. He's in a basement.
He's in a basement. He's tied down until he builds the next product. Um, and I feel like Sam was the type of guy who like would give that vibe that he would do. Like that could be scary. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but like if they enter into the space of like actual devices and then they also already have this massive distribution of users, it's going to be really interesting. The
Mhm.
second thing that they rolled out, which was really exciting, was this agent kit that they have. Let me see if I can find a clip where they were giving a demo on it.
Would getting would having devices matter? I don't know if that would matter.
For OpenAI, would it matter if they like if they for their distribution if they had devices?
I mean, it would matter for them. They would make more money.
They would
For
make more money.
for a user, like, does it matter?
I don't know. And so that's the thing. Like Sam talked about on a podcast he did with A16Z earlier, like 2 days ago or a day ago, where he was like, I think he thinks that voice is going to be like a big component of how people integrate with AI, and the fact that it's just kind of the way he said it is a bit creepy, but it's like kind of just something that's always there and always kind of listening in the background.
Yeah,
And
as if we don't have that already. But yeah, to even a more, I mean, I've been hearing about the voice is the next wave of technology for like years now. Oh, who is that marketing guy? What's his name? Gary V.
yeah, Gary Vee.
Hey, this was like a couple years ago. I think he was talking about on a podcast, and he said voice would be the next big thing, and it makes sense. But right now, it's not like everyone can say, "Hey Siri." It just technology is not. As,
Siri's stupid.
yeah, it's all dumb,
Yeah,
and
yeah, and it's just
yeah,
not there yet.
no. Sometimes using any AI, ChatGPT, you're typing things in, and you're like, how do you have the entire information of the internet and you are giving me this? And if I tried speaking to it, even worse. That would be so much worse.
Yeah, because there's certain words that we say and like ways that we say
Yeah.
it, and then like names that we say that it's hard to imagine. But I think also like a big restriction on it is how it's siloed. So when they roll out apps, I think that's going to be a big thing that opens it up because right now it's kind of like the first iPhone wasn't that awesome. You didn't have any app stores. You didn't have good internet. You were like on AT&T's network, so it was like shit. You were very slow connection, and so it's not like the iPhone came out initially. It was like, wow, this is gonna change the world. Everybody was like, it's like a fad. Some
Yeah.
people really were like, oh, it's gonna change the world, but a lot of people were like, it's a fad. And I think depending on how they roll out their product, OpenAI might go through the same
Hmm.
cycle.
Yeah, I'm sure. And with, I mean, it could move fast. Like maybe next year we'll be talking about the voice portion of the tech and be like, oh, it works.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, like I think a big thing that's going to make it possible is this concept of agents.
Hmm.
So, like high level, the thing about agents is more so that like if you think about traditional like generative AI, it's reactive. You ask it a question and it spits out
Hmm.
a text, an image, code, music, but it can't like evaluate and make its own decisions and
No.
decide what to do next. That's why it's stupid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have a recursive loop. And so the thing about this whole agentic AI, where everybody's like, we are agentic AI, we are an agentic AI platform, it basically just means that you build a series of AI calls to the LLM that then have their own prompt and action loop
Yeah.
that then make their own decisions.
Yeah. It's thinking,
It's
kind of.
thinking.
It's doing more steps to get you the answer, and hopefully that works. ChatGPT kind of acts like it's doing that currently, where
Hmm.
it like if it's taking a while to search, it'll be like thinking,
Yeah,
need more time to process. It's not actually, it's still generative, but
and I think so. What was our big breakthrough for Orbiton was we were able to build these agentic workflows,
mhm,
where we realized that if we just do like very early on, we realized if we just do one call, we do like a retrieval augmented generation call, and we get
mhm,
a spit out of the result. And if we were devoted to like this flow, we would end up with very inconsistent results and
yeah,
it was very hard to control quality. And so we had to go with this loop. And so we built a whole bunch of things around like, rewriting the person's question and like
mhm,
ranking the results from the RAG and then deciding which ones to pull. Each one of those is a different agent
yeah,
that runs within those few seconds that you're waiting for your response.
yeah,
But now we're looking at taking it to the next level with workflows within the company. But
mhm,
my point is, like, when they rolled out this like visual, like we did this all in code,
yeah,
and OpenAI said, "Hey, we're going to make a visual workflow builder that allows you to do this."
mhm,
That is quite disruptive because it makes it easy for anybody to just drag and drop and build these agent workflows,
mhm,
which opens up the market and of course kills a lot of like startups too. Like there's one here, N8N. They do that. They do like workflow automation, and you drag and drop and you build these agents that integrate into other platforms. That's what OpenAI just rolled out internally.
yeah,
And I don't know how that's going to play out, but that was really interesting. Like another company that's doing a really good job. And these guys are actually the founders based out of Vancouver. I really love what he's doing, and I follow him on LinkedIn, and I'm a big fan of like his marketing and everything that he's doing for this. But same thing, like they are this agentic um, workflow builder that is a drag and drop interface. And so, not saying that it's going to kill these guys, but like it definitely does hike up the competition for them.
yeah,
And that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Then the last component of the presentation that was interesting was around their new LLM model for coding. And this was like they take that like agentic approach and they implement it into coding, and so then it does that recursive loop but multiple times to fix your problems with your code, and essentially it's like having a skilled junior developer on your team who can run 24/7. You can run this while you're sleeping, which is
yeah,
huge. Another huge breakthrough. So the thing that scared me though is just the speed at
mhm,
which things are getting better. It's both exciting and
yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Let's have the robots learn a little bit more about human interaction. I can't wait for, yeah, it is scary.
And
But it's,
it's had me like this week I was like up every night until like super late because I was trying to integrate all these new tools and systems into our program to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve.
yeah,
And I'm like, fuck, like this every day something's coming out. Every day something's getting better, which
yeah,
is awesome for the pace of innovation,
yeah.
but it's just
And
insane.
I mean, for us, it's great. It's an opportunity to keep moving forward and building Orbiton. But yeah, just on a human level, it's like, this is scary. I mean, everyone's been talking about it all year, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it goes back to like if you think about it, they were saying in the beginning each hello is the same amount of power required as a light bulb.
Oh, yeah.
And so then you think about these agentic workflows.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of power.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of power. And so like there's in the podcast with A16Z, Sam was saying that like nuclear is really the way to go, and it's like the cheapest, greenest source of energy that you could have. The only thing is the bureaucracies that's really in the way. And he does have a startup in the energy space as well that he started around the same time as OpenAI. But
Mhm.
what's really interesting to see is like this is like a small cap company, $50 million market cap. They have a massive land package in um, around the Athabasca Basin in Canada, and they have a uranium deposit. They have multiple uranium deposits, and when you look at the appreciation in the share price over the past 6 months, like this is a sign of we need more power.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've been needing.
We've been needing more power.
I think you are better than me to touch on this point. But like you said, with OpenAI rolling out new tools, um, so-called startup killers, as an AI startup, I think you could talk a little bit about how Orbiton is going to keep moving forward instead of get killed.
I think it's a combination of being obsessive about the problem. And so I think that AI is building a world in which generalist solutions are going to be commoditized.
Mhm.
And so I mean like think about this like like couches. You know, like in the beginning I assume when people first discovered, or cars. Cars is a better one. Let's go with cars. In the beginning when cars was invented, there was a few people, few companies, few organizations that really could figure out like how to build an engine, how
Mhm.
to manufacture a car, and so it was very very difficult to get your hands on a car, and most people were still on horses. And I feel like software was like that, where it was really hard to get your hands on the ability to build certain software. Now it's like generalist software is going to be commoditized, where it's
Mhm.
all basically going to become free. And so then the advantage that you have, or how you sustain, is by being exceptionally good at applying AI to a specific niche. So
Mhm.
it's almost like instead of trying to be some, like for me, like I'm not Sam Altman, I don't have hundreds of billions. Like I got to focus on being on one vertical, on one source, and being the best at that. I think that's the only way we're going to survive.
Mhm.
Like right now, even with the new agent kit and all the tools that OpenAI has put out, when it comes to asking investor relations questions and questions about public companies, we are still the best there is.
Yeah. Yeah. We
And that
we're using the current technology to do what we know best.
exactly. And so then like people will come to us and they'll still use our tool because of those details, because those details matter. And
Mhm.
so as tech advances and there's more things that OpenAI puts out and Anthropic puts out and Google puts out, like what's going to happen is it's going to become easier to build products. And so instead of being in a SaaS model, this is just my theory, but instead of a SaaS model where you build a simple product and you get massive distribution,
Mhm.
you'll be able to solve complex problems at a massive scale.
Mhm.
You don't need to go for the low-hanging fruit anymore. You can go for the more complex things.
Yeah.
How do you optimize a mine? How do you optimize drilling? How is our marketing performing across all the different platforms and all the different lead sources and all the different conferences? Where should I put my time, energy, and money next year? So
Yeah.
like we can now do the complex stuff. And that allows you to tap into another level of a company's budget because now you're way more valuable. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff from before is going to start to become commoditized.
Mhm.
And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, like one of the promises of dashboards when they first came out was that it would allow companies to operate more efficiently. But then the problem is that you get all this data, you get it in a dashboard, and you're like, all right, like what do I do with it?
Yeah.
Now you can get agents to actually go and apply the data for you, and I think that's where it gets interesting. Like you can take in all the data into your system, and then your CRM can craft emails specific to each person in your database.
Mhm.
Like not just like we personalize your email by customizing the name field. Like actually like the email and the topic and everything. It's like, hey, I noticed you were asking about our PEA and the timeline for it. I just want to give you a few quick comparables on our
Mhm.
PEA to our peers. Here you go. That
Yeah.
would be valuable as like an investor or shareholder if I was asking or Googling or searching on a website about that and I signed up and then later they sent me a note with like, hey, here's like our competitor or one of our peers just put out a PEA. Here's how
Mhm.
it compares to ours. I would like that.
Yeah.
But then, maybe my buddy who works in software and doesn't know anything about mining, but maybe invested in the mining company because he likes gold, he wouldn't want that email. He would want an email on like, hey, gold went up 8%. Here's what it means for our bottom line.
Hmm.
That's what he would care about. And so that hyper personalization is now possible at scale.
Hmm. I mean, we talked about how scary AI can be, but like we ended our last week's, is that there is still optimism. It is still like it can be scary, it can move fast, but at the end of the day, it is still just business, and it is still technology moving forward. There's always opportunity there.
Yeah, you can fight it
Yeah, or you
or
can
you can use it.
accept it and move with it, use it. Yeah.
And what I really love is like people often talk about like the internet bubble. I think AI is more comparable to the the computer revolution
Yeah.
because it's such a massive technical shift.
Hmm.
And this is where you really see and like the other thing that's different about it compared to blockchain is that when AI went out, like when ChatGPT was rolled out, your mom could generate images.
Hmm.
My mom doesn't know what a blockchain wallet is.
Yeah.
Nor do I think in her lifetime she's ever going to figure it out.
Hmm.
Right? And so but make me Christmas cards for Christmas for my
Yeah.
family,
Oh, totally.
right? Like the friction's so low, it's so easy to use. It's even more user friendly than any other tool that's been rolled out before, and it's so valuable. And so I think that's where like there's a big differentiator between the internet boom and like where we are now, or like the blockchain boom and where we are now. But
Yeah.
it's interesting to see, like sitting where I am, it's interesting to see a mining bull market in tandem with a technological revolution in AI. And what I love is that mining is an industry that hasn't had a tremendous amount of innovation in the past 10, 15 years because it's been in a very long bear market.
Yeah.
They haven't had tons of capital. It was all being poured into these tech co's and the internet co's.
Hmm.
Now there's money coming into these commodities and metals and mining, and there's money going into AI, and there's an opportunity here. I have a feeling about this. I'm pretty excited.
We're the bridge. We're making it
We're the
happen.
bridge. Make it happen.
Yeah.